Once we understand the different types of biochemistry reactions, we also need to pay attention to certain factors that we know can cause an interference in the results. There are three main well-documented factors which affect the quality of results even if the reagent is good. A is hemolysis. Hemolysis means that the hemoglobin from the blood is released into the serum or plasma, and this is a red colored compound. So the whole serum or plasma becomes a little bit pinkish or reddish, and this has an impact on the overall results because the sample itself has a certain color which can cause artificially high results. The second interfering factor in a biochemistry assay can be lipemia or proteinemia, which means certain samples which can have either an abnormally high amount of fat or an abnormally high amount of protein can become turbid. This turbidity will affect the absorbance. The absorbance will be artificially increased, causing a falsely elevated result. On the other hand, sometimes such proteins can displace large amount of water in the plasma sample, and therefore they can lead to falsely low results as well. The third and even more common form of interference that we see is for icteric samples. Icteric samples are samples which have a high amount of bilirubin. Bilirubin is a yellow colored compound. If a sample has a high amount of bilirubin, the whole serum or plasma itself takes a dark color, which is in a yellowish tone. And once again, like hemolysis, this will affect the results, causing an artificial elevation in tests which have a colorimetric method of being run. Before we end this presentation, let me take you through three very clear examples on how chemistry analyzers estimate concentrations in patient samples in different types of reactions. First, let's start with an endpoint reaction. A methylsozone glucose reagent kit, which is an endpoint kit, was run on the URA chemistry analyzer. The following data was generated. The absorbance, also called as optical density or OD. The absorbance at 0 minutes was 0.2 for the standard and 0.21 for the sample. At 5 minutes, the absorbance of the standard was 0.80, while the absorbance of the sample was 0.89, and at 10 minutes, the standard absorbance was 0.85 and sample absorbance was 1.6. The reagent blank was 0.10. The standard concentration was 100 mg per dl, and the kit says that the incubation time is 10 minutes. Now the question is, what is the factor of the kit and what is the concentration of the unknown sample? Before we go further and I explain you how to calculate this, if you already have an idea how to calculate the factor and the sample concentration, my suggestion would be to pause this video and try attempting this question by yourself. Once you have reached an answer, you should go to the next slide. Otherwise, you can pause now. Approaching the problem stepwise, the first important thing is that as the product insert says, the incubation time is 10 minutes. That means the endpoint is reached in 10 minutes and we should note the absorbance of the standard at 10 minutes, which is 0.85. The reagent blank was 0.10. This has to be subtracted from the absorbance of the standard to arrive at the correct absorbance, which is 0.75. Similarly, the absorbance of the sample at 10 minutes is 1.6 minus 0.10 reagent blank or 1.5. The factor is a pretty straightforward formula, which is concentration of standard divided by absorbance of standard. In this case, 100 is the concentration of the standard and 0.75 is the absorbance of the standard. 100 by 0.075 means 133.33 is the factor. In order to calculate the sample concentration, we simply need to multiply the factor by the absorbance of the sample. The absorbance of the sample in this case is 1.5, and when we multiply it by the factor which is 133, you will arrive at the concentration of 200 mg per dl. I repeat, the absorbance of the sample is 1.5, the factor is 133.33, and when we multiply the two, the answer is 200 mg per dl, which is the concentration of the unknown sample. This was an example of an endpoint assay. Going further, let's look at a 2-point or a fixed time reagent kit. An example of such a reagent kit is creatinine MR. The following ODs or absorbances were observed. At 30 seconds 0.2, 60 seconds 0.3, 90 seconds 0.4, 120 seconds 0.6, 180 seconds 0.9 and 240 seconds 1.5. For the purpose of simplicity, let's say that you already knew the factor is 21. On going through the kit insert, you noted that the kit says the delay time is 60 seconds and read time is 2 minutes. The question is, what is the sample concentration for the unknown sample? Once again, my suggestion is that if you know how to solve this problem, please pause the video now, calculate the answer and then play it again before we go to the next slide. Let's look at a stepwise solution to this problem. The delay time is the time required for the reaction to stabilize. Any reading before the delay time is insignificant. So the first absorbance which is of interest to us is at 60 seconds, which is 1.55. The read time is 2 minutes, which starts after the delay time, which means that we will take the second absorbance at 180 seconds. In this case, that is 0.90. We already know the factor is 21, and we know that the sample concentration is simply factor into change in absorbance for a 2-point reaction. In this case, that means 21 into 0.9 minus 0.3 or 21 into 0.6, which is a change in absorbance, and the answer is 12.6. Now we look at a third kind of reaction, which is a kinetic reaction. For example, the SGOT kit from Etsosozone. The following ODs were generated at 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180, 240, 300 and 360 seconds. Once again, if you know how to solve these kind of problems, please pause the presentation and try solving it yourself. In addition to the absorbance, from the product insert, we know that the factor of the kit is minus 1746, and the kit insert says that the delay time should be 60 seconds and the read time should be 3 minutes. We have to find out the concentration of the unknown sample. Once again, looking at this problem in a stepwise fashion, first we notice that the delay time is 60 seconds. So the initial absorbance or the first absorbance is 1.55. The read time is 3 minutes or 180 seconds, which should start after the delay time. That means that the second absorbance is at 240 seconds or 0.95. That is the absorbance at 4 minutes. This means that the absorbance has changed from 1.55 to 0.95, and the change in absorbance is 0.95 minus 1.55 or 0.6 negative in a total of 3 minutes. This means the change in absorbance per minute is minus 0.20 per minute. and the factor is minus 1746. So once we multiply the factor by the change in absorbance per minute, that is, we multiply minus 1746 by minus 0.2, we get the answer of 349.20. I hope all the three examples are very clear. Otherwise, I suggest that you go back in this video and have a look at all the three examples again.